Hello, my name is Andrea Matheson, and I'm here to share with you some of the insights I've had in creating the New Year 2020 flower essence. This is a complex combination of flower essences designed to support us as we move into this new cycle of time. I've been making these annual essences every year since 1998, and this past year I wondered whether I would be making a new one for 2020. I sensed that something fundamental was shifting in both the inner and the outer landscape, and I did not want to be automatic about the task of creating a new combination if it wasn't required. I sat with that question for a few days, pondering whether I should go ahead because this definitely was the time of year, late November, to create the essence. Finally, I realized something that had shifted was that I was not to create this essence by myself. I had a group of women coming for a 2-day council here at my home in Port Hope, and I was to create this essence in the larger matrix of a council gathering. We took this task on, and I tuned in, made the combination, and together with them began to decode the complex story that nature was revealing through the variety of essences. The definition is quite simple, and you can read that on my website, but I'd like to explain in this brief webinar some of the other elements that are involved in this combination. You may know already that flower essences work in subtle ways, and they never do the same thing twice, and they never just do one thing in the body soul at a time. Their influence can be multi-layered. You can take an essence and have shifts in your liver, your brain, your nervous system. Parts of old, sore, achy areas can come to the surface and be gently vibrated into a new possibility. Old attitudes may surface to be released. The range of things that can happen while you're taking a flower essence are many, and there is a great art to being present and observing these shifts as they occur. This year, the key essence in the combination, and I always muscle test for which one is the key essence, was one called Balanced Power. It's a 5th chakra essence. So it has to do with the expression of the power of our being coming forth within us through our actions, through our words, through our creativity. Right now, power is the central issue that's at focus in our world. As I look back at my own life, I realize that I have always been interested in power. Often that resorted to an interest in spirituality because I knew that there was power in spirit. And it related for me also to a hunger to be near people who had power that I respected, admired, and wanted to cultivate in myself. So I had a love of power. And like many young people, that fascination drew me into complex issues where I did not know how to live in that power, how to relate to it from a grounded, authentic place in myself. One day, a mentor said to me, Andrea, I see your love of power, but your challenge in this life is to learn about the power of love. And that is the name of this essence. So in some respects, my whole life has been turning in this direction. And here I am with you at the edge of 2020, recognizing this is not just a personal issue for me, but a global issue for all of us in this time. How can we find a new relationship with the earth? One that is not based on a power over, a fear of, a greed for. issues that take us into the most shadowy parts of our psyche. How can we find the way back into the power of love when we have so forgotten our relationship with all that nourishes everything on this beautiful planet? So this is at the heart of what this essence is about. The story, and there's always a story to a combination, begins with the essence grief and loss, which certainly describes where we are right now. And then it moves to letting go. Now, grief and loss is a heart chakra essence, and letting go is a spiritual task. That essence is related to the 8th chakra. Letting go is one of the most difficult things for any of us to do because we are so attached to our beliefs, to our patterns. Even the most difficult emotions, we can still remain attached to them and are fearful of letting go into something that is loving, ease-filled, gracious, creative, joyful. So this is where the story begins. And then comes in the key essence, balanced power. Now it comes in with another essence that is giving more indications about where this power is focused. And I'd like to read you just a couple of phrases from this essence called Queen of Heaven's Trumpet. This essence blasts through the illusions that undergird many of our personal and societal structures. Collectively, we are in a time of great change, where we recognize that many of our social systems are no longer sustainable, yet we are still heavily invested in them. This points to the fact that this essence, New Year 2020, is not just about personal growth and change, but it is also reflected directly in the societal situations, the many political, economic, educational, corporate problems that we are all facing right now. So balance of power in both the personal and the collective is emphasized in this combination. From there, the essence story continues with a host of different energies that have this beautiful buffering, soothing energy added to the basic issue of the power, the imbalance of power. There are essences that support being at peace with oneself, a gracious sensuality, very much more heart-centered essences relating to the purity and strength of the heart, a deepening into the power of beauty. There's also discernment between fate and destiny. I'll just say a word about that. It's in the actual essence definition that fate is what happens to us when we're half asleep, where destiny is something that pulls us into who we truly are and what we have to bring to this planet now. The essence also has one very difficult one in it, and it's from the Great Mother Kit. And that kit relates to the dark night of the soul. This essence is called Surviving and Strengthening. And in it, the Great Mother says, when in the most difficult times, stay there. Stay and be nourished in this holy place. Now, a holy place that you don't often think of as the most difficult of circumstances. But as many of us know who have been on the spiritual path for some time, it is at precisely those moments, those difficult, uncomfortable moments, where great change and lasting change can occur if we stay fully present there. That's different than wallowing. It's allowing profound change to occur in and through us and not avoiding that discomfort. There is also lady slipper essence in here, and this one does not come up frequently, but it relates to trauma, sometimes sexual abuse. And my thought about this is that during this time, many of the issues of abuse of sexuality, one of the most intimate imbalances of power in our society, are really coming to the fore and being addressed in new ways. Finally, the last essence in the story, and I had to giggle about this, is the sacred clown. Now, this is one of the 13 archetypal essences, and the sacred clown is part trickster, but in my definition, she is also the daughter of synchronicity. She's the one where you don't have a predictable sense of what's right and what's wrong. It's something that may come from off-center, something unexpected, something that changes the whole atmosphere in a room. We get this sometimes when we laugh with people, and the whole of the atmosphere around us and inside us shifts through the laughter. So a sacred clown is conscious of what she is doing in bringing new perceptions, unexpected insights to the fore. So that gives you a little bit of the flavor of the combination. In the booklet with the essence, there is also 3 questions that I ask for 2020. Those are listed on the website as well. And there is a cast of characters, because I saw in some of the essences that the emperor came up. And that's the old guard at times, one who knows or thinks he knows, he or she, and works from an old power position. There's also the inner teacher, that one that is acting from the sense of what is right and in the moment, listening, somebody that is paying attention to intuitive prompts and following that rather than a lot of external status quo guidelines. There is also the magician. Now, the magician, as well as the sacred clown, are a dynamic duo, bringing in a tremendous amount of newness and possibility. So if you find yourself this year, moving into 2020, feeling something stirring in you that is new, that has vitality, but you can't quite name it, you can't quite see where it's reflected around you, and you may even be nervous that if you really followed it, you'd be out of step with the world as you know it, pause. Give some time and space to the magician within you, to the inner teacher, and also, in particular, the sacred clown. Let your creativity move in ways that surprise and delight you. Let yourself be drawn not by fate into a future that is full of fears and old ghost shadows, but by destiny, that tug in your heart, echoed in your body soul, that is pulling you irrevocably to who you are and what your gifts are. Let them be given in and through you during this year. Finally, to close, I would just mention that there is an essence I made years ago to a poem called Love's Message. And in this poem, there is one short part I'd like to read to you. You are an operating system of love. This is a fact. You are an operating system of love. Can you be still, yea, even for 3 seconds, and feel this reality? I wish you all the best as we take the risks the needed risks, and open to that reality that we are truly love.